In the latest edition of the Smart CMO newsletter, I wanted to talk through 3 tools to build video into your marketing strategy the easy way. So I kicked it off by saying, video has huge reach. You probably already knew that, most likely. But you'd be surprised how often I still encounter people in marketing or other industries who do still find it difficult to work with video and definitely don't know where to begin. As a result, it's always kept at arm's length, and it's usually based on time commitment and the thinking space that it requires, because it is a significant undertaking if you don't have the right tools. In this newsletter, I covered a simple tool to create videos like your Gen Z, making sure to be heard with great audio in one click, and I do promise it's one click. With the right tool, planning and briefing your content is easy. Now, not everybody is in the job of making videos, making content. Sometimes you're in the jobs of the logistics, the planning, the briefing, etc. And this is the tool that's going to help you keep everything on course. But before we get started, I wanted to just make it really clear how significant video is. Online videos have an audience reach of 92% among internet users worldwide, and that's 5 billion people. So 92% of 5 billion people is not an insignificant number. So the chart just below, just to outline the size of the market. So 5 billion internet users, of which 4.8 billion are social media users. They have a social media account of some description. So just to put that into some context, I wanted to then break that down into platforms that use video regularly. So TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can see it varies between 1 and 2 billion in numbers. So YouTube, all video, 2.68 billion users. And to be clear, these are monthly active users using these platforms. So it's a significant number, which is why when I said video has huge reach, I did mean it. And it's only growing, especially with platforms like TikTok constantly growing and Instagram under threat, responding to that by introducing more video features like Reels, Stories, and Posts. And what I wanted to get to was that if you're still hesitant or videos is only a small proportion of your marketing strategy, now's definitely the time to change that. And these are the tools that are going to help you either dip your toe in and start to understand them in order to build them into your strategy. So when it comes to creating videos like your Gen Z, I wanted to cut straight to the chase and just say it's CapCut. If you haven't heard of CapCut or thought it was for kids to edit their dances on, you are very mistaken in that regard. This is a serious bit of kit and it has a lot of functionality, but it's super easy to use. It's designed for mobile, and then they've built it out for online editing and desktop editing, so you can use it pretty much on any device that you have to hand. So yes, I just made it really clear here, whether you want to edit on your mobile device, desktop, laptop, or even using their online editor, CapCut has a solution for you. So there's no real barrier there. There's a way for you to do it either on the move, on your mobile, or you can get home or to the office and you're working on your desktop or laptop. This statement here, I do stand by this. With some incredible tools built in, CapCut is putting more inaccessible editing software to shame. There's systems out there like Adobe Premiere Pro. These are paid for and they're much more technical. There's DaVinci Resolve. There's all these different. DaVinci Resolve is free, but it's much more technical. Whereas this just makes the job of video editing so much easier. So what I wanted to do was highlight just a few things that people would likely want to do with their video and how CapCut comes to do that. So here's the thing you can do. Edit video as standard, that's a given. Add text to video by choosing from varied templates to retain customer attention, highlight key actions, or boost brand identity. So adding text to your video is one of the key things you'll see on lots of social media posts now, just to really draw attention to it rather than just being a talking head. Something that people don't want to have to do, this used to be a real burden, was generating subtitles. This uses CapCut uses AI to automatically generate those subtitles with near perfect accuracy. So you only need to go in and change if there's a few words that are maybe mispronounced or are more technical terms that the AI doesn't pick up on. This, I think, is such an incredible feature here. You want your marketing strategy to reach multiple countries with different languages. You can auto transcribe your video into text in different languages to make it your video more searchable, accessible, and engaging. So we know that with social media, platforms like TikTok, they're becoming much more search orientated. So people are doing their searches for things directly in there rather than going to Google, so they can find the answers they need on TikTok. So you need your videos to be transcribed and have that text, which is what TikTok's search algorithm will pick up on, for people to be able to then find your video, and especially in different languages. That just opens up your audience significantly. Then there's other tools, remove the background from your video without needing professional software. This used to be a real pain in the backside. You used to have to go into After Effects, keyframe everything around, and paint out the background effectively. This just does it pretty much in one click. You can tweak it and get it right, but it makes it so much easier. And people are doing this on their mobile phones. That's what still amazes me. And then resize your video for different platforms. So let's be clear, there's something here for everyone. And I want to give you a sense of what's possible. So here's an outline of the tools they have available. So over on CapCut, what I wanted to show was, if there's something you were hoping to do with your video, I really need to do this, I'm not sure the right way to do it or the right path, or maybe I need an editor. This pretty much will likely have the answer for you. So hovering over the tools here, you can see under tools, we start to talk about video. So effects and filters, background remover, video resizer. We'll actually go look at that one in a second. Video trimmer, video converter, video upscaler, stabilization, and super slow motion. So there's something in there for pretty much every single need that you have. And then we get into audio and text. They have text to speech, music sources, sound effects, audio extractor, noise reductions, but you are not short of options here. So if there was something you think I need to get into, or I need to find this function, it used to be you'd have to know what you're looking for within an editing software. They just make it super easy here of finding it within the software. So let's head over to Video Resizer. This is such a game changer for marketing strategy. You used to have to create different videos for different platforms all the time, but with this, it just resizes video in one click for all the different platforms that you need. So instead of having to produce for just YouTube or Instagram separately, you can do this and it'll just resize it all. So as I said here, I generally would be surprised if what you wanted just wasn't on that list and there was another blocker in the way. I suspect this is going to get you, 90% of the way towards what you're trying to achieve with the video and the campaign that you're running at the time. My suggestion is just getting a tool like this into the hands of your team and just see what they come up with. If you only create one video a month, there's still a hell of a lot of eyeballs on your product or service based on those numbers that I talked about before. The second part of this edition was talking about being heard with great quality audio. I do believe that not having great audio is a significant barrier, because maybe I can't see the video, maybe it's a bit grainy, but if I can't hear what's being said and what the key messages are, I'm definitely switching off. Like I've already scrolled on to the next message, or maybe I'm finding another provider because I was looking for an answer, but I can't really hear what you're saying. So I just wrote here, you've nailed the video, that bit's done. But for whatever reason, the subject matter expert that you asked to record a little piece to camera has recorded their audio, in a windy environment, or they've got their finger over the microphone, or there's some background noises, and that going back to them and asking them to redo it time and time again in a new environment is always going to be challenging. So how can we fix that? Now, again, you used to be able to, or you still can, you can fix it in editing software like Audition, but that takes a significant amount of time fixing each little thing. And I wanted to be clear here, there's no substitute for great audio. As I said, if I can't hear what you're saying, you 100% lost me. But I wanted to draw your attention really easy. I want to make it clear how simple this process is. So Adobe Podcast is currently in beta. So let's head over to Adobe Podcast. I'll just show you what that looks like. It's a beta program at the moment. I'm sure they're going to have a phenomenal program soon. I've requested access, don't have it yet. As soon as I do, I'll be making an update here. But what they do have today available to people are two tools. One of them is Mic Check. So unlock quality sound from your microphone. This is a great little tool just to make sure you've got the microphone at the right distance. You just record a little bit of audio and it gives you the piece to read out. So that's a great place to start already to get the right level of audio. But this is the one I want to draw your attention to, is Enhanced Speech. So Enhanced Speech, as I said, this is one click, and I kid you not, it is one click. You take your audio, and if you are struggling to get your audio, you can come to CapCut. into the tools, and they have audio extractor, so you could upload your video, extract the audio, and take that over to Adobe, drop it in, upload it. It does a little bit of processing. It takes less than a minute, and then you just download your nice clean audio. And I can tell you, I have been working on several projects recently whereby the audio has been provided to me in different sources, different people, and they're just inconsistent. Some are low, some are high, some have got background noise, some have got little things happening in amongst all of them. I just uploaded them straight to this tool, clicked, downloaded each one, and it was well within the limits. And I ended up with a great sample of audio that I could use for a finished piece, which would have taken me hours to fix in Audition. So here I just reiterated the process. All you need to do is upload your audio clip, press enhance, and then, download the fixed audio file and use that in your project. You can re-import it back into CapCut, for example. And yeah, it has fixed my audio on a number of occasions, which I'm delighted. So that's why I think this is one of the most powerful things, is just getting your audio right. It means your message is nice. It's easy to hear, even if your video is potentially grainy or something's gone wrong with it. But your audio is really, really clear. People can see that. And then you can add the text on top with CapCut. Blending those two together really makes you have a really good product at the end. Mic check I mentioned here, I would definitely start there, then move into enhance if your audio is a little bit janky. And you can obviously suggest this to whoever's recording the audio. So if you're a subject matter expert, you might say, hey, just go to mic check quickly and just check, the distance to the camera, different distance to the microphone, and it works for them as well. So now you've no excuse not to produce great video with superior quality audio. So that's where we come into the third piece here. I wanted to talk about, how do we pull this into one big cohesive project? You've got lots of moving parts for your campaigns and for your strategy that you're delivering. And this is where, getting the right planning and briefing and bringing people together is super important. So here we talk about Notion. I would refer to it as a bit like Google Sheets on steroids, but it's a lot more than that. You want to bring this into your projects because it's a collaborative space for you and your team to plan your project, manage it, and track progress. And this is definitely where your strategy really comes alive, because you can see things at quite a high level and then come straight down to the plan level where you're actually delivering things on your calendar. And you can start to really see the strategy become manifest across all your departments, all your different team members, and track all that progress. So as I said, you might not be the guy or girl doing the editing or the video creation, but you do need to oversee it all. So if you want to do the planning, I come across at the time where it says nobody actually starts their career imagining they'll spend most of their time hunting through their emails for a Word doc or PDF. Like you're working on a project and you need these documents to be readily available, but you're scouring through your email inbox because you saw it, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, sent by somebody else in the team. You're trying to find it. The idea of Notion is you have it all in one place. It's all tracked. You can quickly keep on top of meeting notes. You can organize a task list, share it with the team and delegate tasks, plan and manage campaign launch calendars so everyone's on the same page when it comes to what's happening when, and share project documents. That's one of the big pieces, always linking to this. I used to use Google Sheets for this, whereby I'd have a link to a Google Drive, but it just wasn't that intuitive. I couldn't bring all these things together and create one cohesive view for it. So yeah, I've just said here, as a general rule, I'm an organized person, but there are times when documents, emails, notes, and all items are saved in multiple folders, especially when I'm dipping into one project and then come back to it a few weeks later. So I do want to show you Notion really briefly. It's they classify it as your wiki, your docs and projects all together in one place. They've introduced Notion AI, which is something I'll save for another day on the newsletter. But you can start to see here things when you're talking about product roadmaps, you're delivering certain things. I would apply the same to marketing strategy in the sense of the steps we need to do, things that are currently in planning stage, something in progress. If you want to find, I think this is such a great one for marketing teams as well. A wiki, having all your information in one place. Someone asks you, can you email me that document? Can you email me this design pack? Can you email these assets? It's all linked here. So you can have everything to say, look, go here. It's all searchable and you can find the items that you need. Docs, again, meeting notes, super easy. You're on a Zoom call, you're on a Teams call, you're in person. You're just putting all your meeting notes down here, and everybody that's part of that meeting has a record, can contribute to it and can confirm certain things, especially when you're coming back to your next meeting and you want to follow up on actions, if there's any blockers, etc., what's been done. And this probably is always my favorite one, is the projects, getting that bird's eye view of a team's ongoing and future projects. This is where, for me, if you're trying to create a marketing strategy, you just need that overview, so that when you're coming back to your marketing strategy, maybe in 3-6 months, to make sure it's on track and it's delivering the results you need, you can look at this and just see where things are falling down, where things have succeeded, and have a really clear view of it to deliver it. So it's not always about making the video and making it happen. I think a lot of this is down to the planning as well. So that's why I wanted to include this last one here, Notion, to help you have a tool and solution for that as well. I did just add something this time for some people. I just wrote this here, so let's pause for a moment. A lot of these tools can seem daunting at first. I don't want your day to be consumed by a never-ending process of trying new tools. That's not the purpose of this newsletter, but I do recommend just opening them up and begin experimenting. You might not know, you might see a tool and think that'll solve all my problems, and then another one you go, I don't quite know where that fits into my workflow yet. But I do think 60% of a marketer's job is test and learn. You find out about a new tool and you think, I don't have a purpose for it just yet. But often when a problem comes up or a challenge comes up in the future, you think, this might be the right fit for it. And I can actually go back to the thing I tested and apply it practically. A good CMO doesn't set the strategy and maybe revisit in 12 months. That's a really poor effort if you think you just said it once and let it happen for 12 months and not course correct during that process. So trends happen in our line of work, and being prepared to take advantage of them is just part of the course. So if you're already semi-familiar with a tool, you're already ahead of the competition. And when something arises, you can be straight on and say, I know this could help us get either 50% or 100% of the way there towards solving this problem. That's what these tools are really good for. So it's not just applying a tool willy-nilly to any challenge. It's about finding the right tool for the right solution. Lastly, our social media updates are usually things that are happening around this space. And I just wrote here, ordinarily in this section, I provide a short update on a noteworthy announcement from the world's social media. However, I came across this video with Adam Mosseri, head of Instagram, and they do a really good dive on a deep dive on Instagram Reels, which I would highly just recommend you checking out. It's at the 30-minute mark. If you click this link here, it'll take you straight to it. You can watch it. It's about 5-10 minutes worth of content, and he just explains the logic behind the process they took towards implementing Reels and why it's important for users and how they're competing with TikTok. So it will help you in your strategy of understanding why you would do Reels in a certain way and the type of engagement you can get. So that's it for this edition. Thank you so much for listening to this, and be sure to subscribe to the Smart CMO newsletter over on LinkedIn. Thank you again.